You don't fail because you're stupid. You fail because no one is watching. When the room is quiet, when the deadlines are soft, when the consequences are delayed, your brain starts negotiating. 5 more minutes, 1 more clip, 1 more scene from a movie you've already seen. And the day disappears. That's the enemy. Drift. Not a dramatic collapse. A quiet leak. Most men think success is built on inspiration. They wait for the mood. They wait for the right playlist, the right weather, the right feeling in their chest. But the rule is harsher than that. The things that matter most in your life will be done alone. No applause, no supervisor, no one called you to confirm you showed up. And if you can't work without being watched, you can't be trusted with anything that requires power. In this mission, we're going to do 3 things. We're going to expose the lie of motivation. We're going to separate the amateur from the professional. And we're going to install a standard, a way of working that doesn't care how you feel. Welcome back, y'all. We are back with another On. I appreciate you for continuing to tune into the videos. Make sure you hit that like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. All right, let's get into it. The most dangerous hours of your life are the hours nobody scheduled. When you're alone, there is no social penalty for quitting. That's why studying alone collapses into snacks, scrolling, games, and background noise. Not because you're weak, because your mind is built to conserve energy and chase immediate reward. A group changes physics. People expect you. Your identity gets pulled forward by their presence. You show up partly to learn, but also to avoid the quiet shame of being the one who didn't. That pressure is not cruelty. It's structure. So understand the real problem. It's not, I don't have ideas. You can have 100 ideas on paper and still produce nothing. Ideas are cheap. The gap is execution when nobody is waiting for you. Your objective is to become the man who can generate pressure internally. If you can't do that, you'll live as a dependent, not financially, psychologically, always needing a manager, a deadline, a threat, or a crisis to move. And crises are expensive. Your mind doesn't say, quit forever. It says, not now. That's how it wins. It offers you small deals that sound harmless. 5 minutes, a quick video, just 1 chapter of a different book, just a little comfort before work. This is not laziness, it's a negotiation loop. The brain tries to swap a long-term reward for a short-term hit. It doesn't hate your goals, it just prefers dopamine now. Here's what you need to see with cold clarity. The negotiation is the theft. Not the movie, not the game, the negotiation. Because once you accept the first delay, you teach your nervous system a policy. When discomfort appears, we escape. You train yourself the same way you train a dog. Consistency, repetition, reward. Most men are being trained by their own avoidance. The dangerous man ends negotiations quickly, not with emotion, with a rule. He does not ask, do I feel like it? He asks, what is the standard? If you don't install standards, your feelings become your boss, and your feelings are fickle, bribable, and easily distracted. There are days the work tastes like ash. Do it anyway. Grinding is a skill, the ability to produce under low inspiration, low excitement, low confidence. It's not glamorous, but it is the gatekeeper. Every serious life passes through it. People love to romanticize creative work. They talk about the muse, the spirit, the lightning strike. That story is comforting because it gives you an excuse to wait. But professionals don't wait. A professional writer doesn't ask the page for permission. He gives the page orders, 2,000 words, today. Not because he's possessed by beauty, but because he understands volume creates outcomes. You don't get quality without output, and you don't get output without grinding. Here's the quiet truth that shocks amateurs. On review, you often can't tell the difference between the day you were inspired and the day you dragged yourself through it. The work can come out strong either way. Why? Because your competence is deeper than your mood. The mood is weather. Skill is climate. Grinding gives your talent a chance to rise. Waiting starves it. So your standard is simple. You sit down, you start, you stay long enough for resistance to break. The amateur works when it feels good. The professional works because it's time. That's the divide. Not talent, not intelligence, not background. Compliance to the schedule. The amateur says, "I'm not in the mood." The professional says, "Noted," and continues. This is not about being miserable. It's about being sovereign. If your output depends on emotion, then emotion owns you, and the world can manipulate you easily. A bad comment, a cold morning, a small rejection. Suddenly, you're off mission. The professional understands something brutal. Consistency multiplies. 1 day of work out of 5 produces a trickle, 5 days produces a river. Over a year, that river becomes an unfair advantage. That's how people suddenly become successful. They didn't suddenly do anything. They were grinding quietly while everyone else was waiting for a vibe. You want leverage? Build a body of work. Build proof. Build volume that can't be argued with. And volume is born from days you don't feel like it. When you create, your perception is not reliable. On hard days, everything feels weak. Your voice sounds wrong. Your ideas feel obvious. You assume the output is trash. So you hesitate. You edit before you produce. You stall, trying to protect your ego from the possibility that you're not that good. This is ego protection disguised as quality control. The truth is simpler. You are too close to the work to judge it fairly in real time. Your brain confuses discomfort with danger. It treats exposure like a threat because being seen is risky. But hiding is a slow death. A man who wants influence has to tolerate the vulnerability of output, not emotional vulnerability, operational vulnerability. Shipping work that isn't perfect, publishing before you feel ready, finishing before your fear shuts you down. Make your peace with this. Some days, you will feel like an idiot while producing something valuable. Later, you'll look back and realize the work was stronger than your mood allowed you to see. Your job is not to feel confident. Your job is to complete. If you rely on external accountability, you will always be rented, never owned. So you create internal pressure with 3 mechanisms: time, quota, and consequence. Time means you work at a set hour whether you like it or not. Quota means you measure output, not emotion. Consequence means you attach a cost to skipping. You lose something, you forfeit something, you record the failure in a way you can't ignore. Do not make it complicated. Complication is another escape route. Set a daily minimum that is slightly uncomfortable but always achievable. Not your best day standard, your worst day standard, the number you can hit even when tired, bored, and irritated. Then defend it like territory. The mission is not to produce masterpieces every day. The mission is to prove to yourself daily that you do not require a mood to move. Most men secretly believe life should feel smooth if they're meant for something. That belief turns them into quitters. Any path worth walking has friction. The friction is not a sign you're doing it wrong. It's the price of admission. And the more meaningful the goal, the more your nervous system will resist it, because meaningful goals threaten your identity. They demand you become someone else. So the grind is not merely labor, it's a transformation chamber. Each time you sit down despite resistance, you carve a new default. You become less persuadable by comfort, less hypnotized by short-term reward. This is what discipline actually is, the ability to choose the long reward while the short reward screams. You don't need to love the process, you need to respect the outcome enough to tolerate discomfort. Every day you vote for the kind of man you are, not with affirmations, with behavior. You either vote for the man who drifts, who negotiates, who waits for permission from his feelings, or you vote for the man who executes under silence. And the world responds to that vote, quietly but decisively, because the results are not impressive. They only recognize your output. So here's the rule you take with you. Do the work even when you don't feel like it, and your feelings will eventually follow your competence. That's the foundation. But knowing the principle isn't enough. In part 2, we go to war with execution and we weaponize struggle into power. Once again, I appreciate you for sticking to the end. Make sure you hit that like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I'll catch you on the next one.